Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. I just came on the cricket app. I know my hair is all rugged, and I just came to just talk about this cricket match that happened in the World Cup 2026. As you know, two matches that took place today. Uh, well, the first match was a real surprise because the Sri Lankan home fans definitely got a real real disappointment as they are really come in numbers to watch this game between Sri Lanka and England. Sri Lanka on their current showing, one would have probably expected them to put up a much better show. But full credit to England with by restricting, rooting Sri Lanka out for 95 after they themselves made a very low score of 146 for 9, and definitely that was not something that was expected from Sri Lanka. But the person to take the honors there was the off-spin bowling of Will Jacks, who has definitely impressed. And today he along with Archer were the main architects of this victory. With Will Jacks 4 overs, 3 for 22, and Geoffrey Archer 2 for 20, really ripping them apart after the Englishmen were the ones who batted first on this particular pitch here at the Palakele ground here in Sri Lanka in the T20 World Cup, the Super 8s, and England were restricted. And definitely, if you look at that card, there is just one player on the top who himself struggled but made sure that he was there to nurture England to a defendable score. And that's what precisely did. And finally, the difference was always, definitely seen when the Sri Lankan batters struggled. So Phil Salt making 62 of 40 balls with 6 fours and 2 sixes enabled them to get to 146, with 21 coming from Will Jack's bat and 10 from Jamie Overton and 14 from Harry Brook. But definitely that was never a good score. But the bowling, absolutely, the Sri Lankan bowlers bowled very well. But even though Danit Valalage did a good job, 3 for 25, 26 and 2 for 25 for Dilshan Madhushanka, 2 for 21 for Mahesh Deekshana, and Dushmanta Chamira 1 for 34. The Sri Lankans probably would have felt, well, 146 is something that it could be definitely chased, and especially considering that they were playing on their home turf. Probably they would have thought that they could very successfully do that. But let me tell you, as I said, full credit to the English bowlers, especially Geoffrey Archer and Will Jacks, and then Liam Dawson 2 for 27 chipped in. Adil Rashid 2 for 13, who has not been having a very good World Cup, one could say, with even the associate countries going after him. Jamie Orton 2 overs 1 for 13. And if you look at the Sri Lankan card, there were some real shots of really the shot selection definitely mattered. Other than the Lankan captain Dasan Shanaka, who contributed 30 of 24, there was nothing to really write home about, as the Sri Lankan innings totally was just crumbled away, and England would be very happy with this result, as they have got off to a wonderful start in the Super 8s, with England winning by 51 runs. So the next game that we are talking about, it's India, the hosts, against South Africa. It was a crunch match. One new into the Super 8. This was a match which was the one which was holding everyone's attention, and this was played at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. And one knows that this was the match, really, as I said, was the crunch game. And in the crunch game for India, well, I have to say the South Africans humbled India by bowling them out for 111 after making 187 for 7 on a pitch which was very tacky, and the ball was really not coming onto the bat, and the strokes were really hard to come by. But South Africans winning the toss and electing to bat, I thought put up a good score on the board of 187, and the Indians really found the going pretty tough. So South Africans would also be very happy. So they also got to a very good start, like England in the Super Eights. And if you look at the South African card, they were in some deep trouble at 20 for 3, with Bumrah striking repeatedly and Asdeep Singh joining him. But then the batting, well, we saw the young Devil Brevis with all his talent that he has, and he also exhibited that no look six that he hits, where his head really is not lifted. It is just bowing down and hitting a six, which he did it with some real finesse, one could call. And David Miller, as is his wont, and as we all know what David Miller is capable of, he carted 63 of 35, and that was the partnership that really took the Sri Lankan, so took the South African innings along and got them to real respectability at 187 on this particular pitch. So Brevis made 45 of 29, three fours, three sixes. David Miller slamming 63 of 35, seven fours and three sixes. And Tristan Stubbs finally at the death, clubbing a few into the terraces with 44 of 24, one four and three sixes, and 187 for seven was the total that the South Africans put on the board. The bowling, well, Bumrah definitely stood out, no doubt about it. 3 for 15, and then 4 overs, 228. Today, the problem for India was the bowling of Varun Chakravarti. Now, Varun Chakravarti, probably the South African think tank had already decided that they are going to go hell for leather when it comes to Varun Chakravarti to hit him out of the firing line, and that is the one that they did it in a wonderful fashion, as Varun Chakravarti leaked 47 runs of his 4 overs with just one wicket besides his name. Washington Sundar was preferred to Akshar Patel. His 2 overs cost 17. Hardik Pandya, who normally would have bowled much better than that, he traveled for 45 of his four. And Shivam Dubey, again, was definitely definitely not a good exhibition at all, as his 2 overs went for 32 with one wicket. India, in their reply, India in the reply were definitely struggling right from ball one, and the South Africans kept them on a tight leash, not allowing them to wriggle one bit. And there's only one man that you could talk about, and that was Shivam Dubey, who tried to hit his way out with 42. But again, there was nothing to do. And as I said, the ball was not coming onto the bat. It was not an easy wicket to bat on for sure. And the bowling, if you look at it, Markram picked up a vital wicket, and that was good. And let's talk about Abhishek Sharma. All eyes were on this explosive pair of Abhishek Sharma and Ishan Kishan. And Abhishek Sharma, well, he first time in this 2026 T20 World Cup got off the mark in the World Cup, and that would have been great sigh of relief after hitting two fours and one six in a knock of 15. So that would have definitely warmed the cockles of his heart for sure. Ishan Kishan was dismissed for a knot in the first over of Markram, and after that, it was Maharaj, Bosch, and Jansen taking over as this Indian, meaning Surya Kumar Yadav, tried his bit to stay in the wicket, but some very good fielding, good catching, one could call, and the bowling was also up to the mark. Maharaj also joined in. With Hardik Pandya there, hope was there, but when Rinku Singh also went holing out into the deep, and with Shivam Dubey, the only person available, it was always going to be difficult. And finally, the Indians posted 111. Yes, disappointment for the fans at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, as the Indians were bowled out for 111, and the South Africa won by a good margin of 76 runs, and not a good start for the host India in the T20 World Cup. And other than that, just wanting to talk about the bowling. The bowling, Marco Hansen, 4 for 22, bowled superbly. Maharaj, 3 for 24, 2 for 2 for Corbin. Bosch also did a good job. And other than that, Rabada did not really look the Rabada that he was. His 4 overs went for 32. And West, game over. And tomorrow tomorrow the next match is between West Indies and Zimbabwe in the Super 8. Should be an interesting fixture. And well, sorry, friends, I know that I'm looking very shabby here. talking to you, but with some unkept hair. I just came in to just talk. Maybe, I mean, whenever I find time, I just jump in. So today being the weekend, I just jumped in. Well, nothing to say. Just had a brief talk here, and maybe I'll see you either on Sunday or Monday, or maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure about it, but I'll try. But definitely, maybe tomorrow I will probably try to present myself a much better. But sorry, I know that I just wanted to just have a brief talk here. It was nice talking to you all, and look forward to your company tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.